Hi, my name is Wilson Hartman, and the shocking story you are about to hear is 100% true. About a year and a half ago, for a supposedly routine checkup, my dentist sat me down and, with a pair of pliers, tried to tear out my teeth one by one. It sounds like a scene out of a horror movie, but he hadn't lost his mind, nor was he performing some ghastly but necessary dental procedure. He was simply murderously angry at me for showing his patients something I'm about to show you. I had stumbled across a controversial secret, a secret desperately suppressed and hidden by dentists worldwide. A secret to 100% naturally and safely whitening your teeth, no matter how old you are or how deep your teeth are stained, using a shockingly simple method based on obscure and buried research by a renowned team of scientists in the United States from the Department of Operative Dentistry, and now used with complete success by 89,403 people and counting, including myself and my family. Best of all, it takes just 10 minutes of your time. It's natural, easy, and safe to do from the comfort of your own home. It requires hardly any investment, just a trip to the grocery store, and does not involve any expensive visits to your dentist, using any toxic professional whitening gels, or messing around with the now proven to be cancer-causing home whitening kits. And you could be seeing dramatic, dazzling results in less than 7 days. In the next 4.5 minutes, I will reveal to you exactly what this teeth whitening secret is. I will support my claims with irrefutable scientific evidence, and I'll reveal the reason why dentists are trembling at just the thought of this becoming public. You'll also learn how the real cause of your stained teeth may not, in fact, be coffee, cigarettes, sweets, or wine, but something far more shocking. It's important you watch carefully and stay with me until the end, because right this second, dentists and the teeth whitening conglomerates are working hard day and night to bring this video down and prevent me from sharing this with you, as what I am about to reveal will revolutionize the way you and thousands of others whiten their teeth forever. After all, according to NBC News, in 2010, Americans spent over $2.75 billion on cosmetic dentistry, primarily on teeth whitening. So you know this is a cash cow that the dental industry will fight tooth and nail to protect. Trust me, when I'm finished letting you in on this controversial secret, you're going to be furious at your dentist and the media for lying to you this whole time about just how to go about whitening your teeth. Within just 7 days of utilizing this secret, you'll finally be able to take command of your teeth, with a pearl white smile that screams confidence and attractiveness. And you'll be doing a lot of smiling, because almost overnight your smile will have gone from embarrassing to breathtaking. You'll finally have the freedom to flash that infectious grin whenever it comes to you. No more self-consciously shielding your face. No more feeling of doubt whenever you dare to crack a smile. Imagine the look on your partners, families, or even work colleagues' faces as they see your naturally white teeth and wonder how on earth you managed it. Imagine going out and getting a different kind of attention from the opposite sex as you ooze confidence and sex appeal. Imagine getting that job promotion you've been waiting for, sitting behind the desk in your new private office as your bright white smile seals the deal, leaving your colleagues in the dark. Being able to relax and enjoy life confidently, as it was meant to be enjoyed. And you can have it all without literally bleaching your teeth or risking your health with poisonous whitening products. It may seem impossible to you now, and you may be feeling skeptical, but stay with me today and pay close attention, as it's time to throw away the preconceived notion that stained yellow teeth are a life sentence, and begin to follow this 100% natural and safe teeth whitening system, just like thousands before you. People like Keon Watkins from Winterville, Georgia, who used this system barely 2 weeks ago and had this to say: "I owe you more than I can ever repay. Before I stumbled onto this guide of yours, my smile was anything but bright and cheerful. It was just plain dull, and a real barrier when it came to my job. Though my manager never came right out and said it, I know it was the reason I could never progress and climb the career ladder. There was no way they wanted my dull smile to be the first thing clients saw, and the constant rejection was really starting to take a toll on me. No matter what I tried, and believe me, I tried it all. The only thing I got for my troubles was blinding toothache. A girl at the nail salon told me about this system, so I went online and bought the guide. For the price I paid compared to what I had been spending, I figured it was a no-brainer, even if it did very little. About 3 days after I made the changes laid out in the guide, I started to notice a difference, until finally, a week ago, I could hardly recognize the face smiling back at me in the mirror. I was simply amazed at how brightening my smile completely changed my entire face, and I wasn't the only one. When management announced they needed someone to fill in for one of our senior reps, I went for it, and within 10 minutes of walking into my manager's office, he offered me the job. Thank you so much for a new lease on life." And Robert Adkins from Rogerson, Idaho, who emailed to say, "Hi there, I had to shoot you a quick note to tell you what your system did for me. Basically, I went from lurking in the background at every social function, afraid to stick my neck out because I knew my smile was a sight best not seen, to a confident guy who goes out after work and has girls checking me out left and right, all because of your guide. I work on construction sites all day, and I'm afraid I smoke cigarettes and drink coffee on top of that. I knew these weren't doing my teeth any favors, but I really have no desire to quit. And I damn sure wasn't going to go to the dentist and spend hundreds of dollars on something that may or may not work. But my sister told me about your system, and I went ahead and tried it, thinking it was way too simple to actually work. Well, I'm eating my words, because before the weekend was out, everyone started noticing the change, and inside of a month, I had my first date in a long time. I want to give a big shout out to whoever came up with this program, because you took a guy who was basically scared of his own shadow and gave me a confidence I haven't felt since high school. Cheers! These are just a couple of the thousands of success stories I receive every month, and in just a moment, I will reveal to you exactly how you too can achieve such results. But you're no doubt feeling a little skeptical and wondering who I am and how someone with admittedly no dental or medical knowledge stumbled upon this secret to natural and rapid teeth whitening. As I mentioned, my name is Wilson Hartman, and I'm a retired firefighter from Dover, Delaware. Nearly my whole life, I'd been plagued with stained teeth, to the point where I was embarrassed to smile, and if I did, I would almost involuntarily cover my teeth with my hand to stop people staring. It had been like that as long as I could remember, and when I started drinking coffee daily, the problem just got worse and worse. At the age of 25, my teeth were already severely stained. I soon became the guy with the yellow teeth at work, a title none of us would want to bear. My social life, and love life for that matter, dwindled until they became non-existent, and by the age of 38, I was alone, embarrassed, and depressed. Every morning, what little confidence I had left would plummet the second I looked in the mirror to reveal my ghastly yellow smile staring back at me. My smile would kill any laughter in a room. It was truly a sight not to be seen. I'm embarrassed to show you this, but here's a picture of me on my 40th birthday. Needless to say, I hated photos of me with a passion, but what's family for, right? Safe to say, I wasn't happy. It was a sad thought that I would have to live the rest of my life feeling ashamed of my teeth. So on my birthday, I decided to start dating again, and I was determined to rid myself of my yellow teeth once and for all if I had any chance of finding a special someone and living again. I knew this would involve spending money I really didn't have, and I had heard the horror stories about teeth whitening in the news, but I was desperate and convinced myself they were just exaggerated. The very first thing I did was I took a trip to my dentist. He was all too happy to get me to pay for his professional teeth whitening service, something he'd been trying to get me to buy for years. It cost me a whopping $649, up front, of course. As far as I knew, everything went smoothly, and I left the clinic feeling great, as if this was the start of a new life for me. But not more than 1 hour after the procedure, I felt an incredible, almighty shooting pain right inside my teeth. I dropped to my knees. It was so painful my vision went black. If you've ever had a toothache, multiply that by 10, and you can get an idea of how painful it was. It was excruciating. I actually screamed out loud in agony, something I've never done before or since. After the initial pain finally subsided, I rang my dentist. He seemed strangely uninterested and said it can happen in rare occasions, and quickly hung up before I could even ask for advice. Okay, I thought, so long as my teeth are whiter, I'll be happy. So I headed excitedly to my bathroom, but to my shock and disappointment, looking back at me was exactly the same smile that I had the day before. I'm talking about not a single change whatsoever. The only thing that had changed was the amount of pain I was in. Frustrated and in pain, I got online, and my research quickly turned up a dark side of professional whitening that dentists and the pleasant TV spots would never tell you. These whitening services use hydrogen peroxide and carbamide peroxide. Yes, that's right, the same chemicals that people use to bleach their hair are being put in your mouth. When these harsh, toxic chemicals touch the mouth or gums, they are known to cause painful bleeding, ulcers, and in many cases cause receding gums, which exposes your root and can lead to infections or tooth abscesses. And who do you go to take care of these problems? The same person who you paid for them in the first place. A scary recent study has now proven that hydrogen peroxide can be known to be carcinogenic. That is, it can cause cancer. The short shooting pains, contrary to what my dentist tried to convince me, are very common, and many had experienced the painful sensitivity I too had. I learned it can last for days or even weeks because the tooth has been dissolved and damaged by these dangerous chemicals. The thought of literally waiting days to be pain-free was more than I could take right then. And that's just the start. Scarily, a report has revealed that up to 30% of hydrogen peroxide from teeth whitening can be swallowed, and when even the smallest drop of these toxic bleaching agents are swallowed, they can cause stomach pain, diarrhea, and vomiting, plus cause damage of the esophagus and lining of the stomach as well. Needless to say, I too was experiencing these horrific side effects. Finally, and most importantly, there is absolutely no guarantee the professional whitening service will even work. In fact, recent research has revealed there is only a 10 to 20% chance of bleaching techniques actually whitening your teeth. That's as few as 10 out of every 100 paying customers. I couldn't believe that when I read it. Of course, my dentist never bothered to clue me into the fact that there was a good chance his treatment would leave me no better off, down $650, and with a whopper of a toothache to boot. After that debacle, I felt really hopeless. I had just wasted a good chunk of change, and I was even more miserable than before. But I didn't give up. I investigated the cheaper home whitening kits instead. Wary of putting myself through even more pain, though, I did a lot more research into them before I paid a penny. And boy, I'm glad I did. It turned out these were even worse than going to a dentist. Yes, home whitening kits are cheaper, but in fact they are far, far more dangerous, with critical levels of the cancer-causing hydrogen peroxide and carbamide peroxide. Many of these kits are banned in several countries because of just how dangerous they really are. In fact, according to EEC guidelines, home whitening kits must only contain a maximum of 0.1% hydrogen peroxide. But my research has found that many kits have up to 6% hydrogen peroxide, a whopping 60 times more than is legally allowed. It was unbelievable. And let's face it, no matter how white your teeth may be, nobody wants to be walking around with hypersensitive teeth such that even a gentle wind will send painful shockwaves down your jaw, let alone a tooth abscess, or worse, a missing tooth instead. My research revealed that home teeth whitening kits are part of a relatively new and unregulated industry, which has led the money-hungry fat cats to get greedy and careless, without a single thought about your health whatsoever. Going down the home teeth whitening route would leave me at an even greater risk of more pain, stomach issues, and more, so I made the wise decision to pass. I couldn't bear to think what more misery they would have caused me. At a loss, and with nowhere else to turn, I'm almost embarrassed to say this now, but as far as I could see, my life was over. My social life, anyway. It was bad before, and I didn't see how it was ever going to get better. To make things worse, days after my initial procedure, my teeth hypersensitivity hadn't gone. It was still keeping me up at night. I couldn't eat, or drink, or even speak without a sharp pain in my mouth. So I made a trip back to my dentist. Little did I know that this trip to the dentist would lead to my discovery of a safe, secret, and 100% natural method to whitening teeth from home within days, now used by over 80,000 people. And little did I know that just over 1 year after my discovery, the dentist who did the initial procedure would in pure anger do the unthinkable and try to tear out my teeth. So I sat there waiting in the dentist's chair, teeth in pain, flipping through a recent home lifestyle magazine, when I reached the classified ads at the back. I noticed something very odd. It was a very simple listing, and simply read, "Yellow teeth? New 7-day natural alternative. 100% guaranteed. Ex-dentist Dr. H." And a local phone number. I was intrigued. Who was this mystery dentist? Why did he make a point of writing ex-dentist? Who could make such bold claims of a 100% success rate for an all-natural method? After my painful procedure to numb and drill part of my tooth, and without even a sorry for my dentist who caused it in the first place, with nothing to lose, I gave the mystery doctor a call. He passed on his address, and that day I made the 2-hour drive to his home. It was in a very affluent gated neighborhood with pristine hedges and white picket fences. As I pulled up, I didn't know what to expect. Who would this doctor be? Was he some quack who got drummed out of the profession and had turned to scams to make a living? Well, as it turned out, I was right about the first part of that, but decidedly wrong about the second. So, with a devil-may-care attitude, I walked up to the door, which had a small sign that read, "Dr. Hartman, Natural Tooth Whitening." I opened the large wooden door and went inside. It looked like an old library, with a desk and piles of books strewn around the room. On the right was a dentist's chair and a workspace. No one was around. I started to wonder what I was doing there. Why had I followed an ad in a magazine I just so happened to read? How desperate was I? I turned to leave the house when I heard a voice. "Leaving already?" Dr. Hartman came out from a side room. He introduced himself. He was well-dressed and came across as a very articulate man and very well-spoken. He moved some books from the chairs, and we sat down at his desk to talk, his wall of accolades and certificates behind him. Turned out Dr. Hartman had been a leading dentist for over 30 years. He had graduated from UNC Chapel Hill and went on to work at a large dental practice in his town. I explained what I had been through and how fed up I was in my quest for whiter teeth. He was very understanding, something I wasn't used to from my own dentist. He confirmed all my research and admitted that all I went through was normal for these procedures. The teeth whitening industry as a whole is money hungry and will do anything to make sales, he said. And of course, your dentist benefits from your tooth damage in the process. It's a win-win situation. Dr. Hartman even shockingly explained how recent studies by respected dentist Dr. Carolyn Clemenza had proven that some leading toothpaste and mouthwash brands were actually known to stain your teeth. She discovered that many of her patients with brown-stained teeth were using this same brand of toothpaste, which is now known to cause staining, not prevent it, forcing you to buy even more toothpaste. It was all very shocking, but I had to stop Dr. Hartman and ask, could he whiten my teeth naturally? Absolutely, he said. I went to get into his dentist's chair, but he quickly stopped me. "Where are you going? It's not what you put on your teeth, it's what you put in your body," he said. And with that, he handed me a few sheets of paper from his desk. "Take a look at this," he said. I'll be honest, it looked like a grocery list. It definitely didn't look like the answer to my stained teeth. I recognized a lot of stuff on there, all inexpensive items that could be picked up from my local grocery store. Dr. Harmon explained how, over many years, he had devised the exact quantities of these teeth-whitening ingredients on his list. He told me that if I ate them in the quantities described, they'd work together to naturally whiten my teeth in a big way. I was ready for him to tell me to cut out the coffee, wine, and especially the smoking habit I picked back up a few years ago, but he said no such thing. He explained that, yes, these stain your teeth, but with my method, that small amount of staining from items such as wine and sweets is counteracted. He said, "Follow this plan, and I guarantee you'll see dramatic results within 7 days." I looked at the list of ingredients. First on the list, strawberries times 2. Strawberries, Dr. Harmon explained, work to polish teeth. Strawberries also contain an enzyme called malic acid that helps keep teeth whiter. 1 times portion of a certain cheese. This cheese, he explained, will help increase minerals calcium and phosphorus, which promote the remineralization of tooth enamel. In turn, this will strengthen your teeth and protect them from further staining. And the list went on. Each day I was supposed to eat a handful of different ingredients. Alone, the ingredients would only help minimally, but eaten collectively, they have powerful and dramatic effects. Together, in the right order and quantities, they create a natural whitening system. It would be safe and even healthy, and it would whiten teeth, and even help protect against gum disease. Well, this was very far from what I imagined. I couldn't believe it could be that easy to whiten your teeth. I wanted to learn more about this guy, so I asked him why his listing said ex-dentist. Turns out that when Dr. Harmon began to teach his patients about his own natural methods, the practice's revenue from whitening began to fall sharply and finally almost stopped altogether. When the powers that be found out what he was doing, he was fired and his name was tarnished for life. He was now outside the circle. He had broken the dentist's code, and all his other job prospects dried up before he could even get an interview. As part of the fraternity of firemen myself, I could easily imagine something like that happening. I asked how much he wanted for the instructions, but he refused to take any payment. And so, armed with my new knowledge and the compelling story he told me, I left his home. I was so excited to get back and try the system. I felt like a child on Christmas Day. The great thing was there was a real variety, as each of the teeth-whitening compounds required were available in many different food combinations. I began the program the very next day, even though I still wondered how it could possibly bring the results he claimed. For 2 whole days, I noticed no difference whatsoever. It didn't make sense. I was doing exactly as Dr. Harmon recommended. But deep down, I still felt very skeptical. No treatment had worked before, no previous natural alternative, no dentist procedure. And here I was, following a program developed by an off-the-grid doctor who I barely knew, all using ingredients that cost less than $10 to put together. It was almost disheartening, but I carried on regardless. What other option was there? Each morning I put together the correct quantities of each food for the day. Waking on the 3rd day, I noticed something. I smiled into the mirror like I had done every day since my birthday, and lo and behold, my teeth were noticeably whiter. I couldn't believe it. Was this it? Was it working? I actually slapped myself in the face because I figured I had to be dreaming. Well, it was no dream. From that day on, my teeth became shade after shade whiter without fail, no matter how much coffee I drank or cigarettes I smoked. And all it took was me simply eating the exact foods Dr. Harmon described in the proper quantities. I admit I was giddy with excitement. I was jumping around my home in pure joy. Worried it was a bout of pure luck, I continued with the program, scared I'd wake up one day and have the same old decrepit smile looking back at me. But 9 days down the line, it hadn't happened. It was outstanding. I just couldn't believe it. Some days I'd forget to eat the required foods, and when I noticed no change when I did, I stopped altogether. My stained teeth were finally a thing of the past. I had crystal white teeth finally smiling back at me in the mirror. It felt like a dream come true. I called up Dr. Harmon immediately. He didn't seem at all surprised at my results. "I am happy for you," he said. "Why on earth do we not publish this?" I asked. So many could benefit from his natural methods, but I wondered why he hadn't put this on the internet and made it widespread. He chuckled and explained he didn't know how, and how no one would listen to an old man. And ultimately, his hands were tied. He wouldn't dare risk his remaining standing in the ADA by releasing research without following strict protocol, which, if followed to the letter, would take many years. "But," he said, "maybe you can help." Luckily, I was not in the medical profession, I had no protocol to follow, I had nothing to stop me. We made the decision. So, for the next 3 weeks, and with the help of Dr. Harmon, we put together the complete, easy-to-follow teeth whitening system into a guide named Teeth Whitening Miracle, the natural, safe, and proven teeth whitening system. The Teeth Whitening Miracle Guide describes the exact system I use to whiten my teeth. The exact combination of certain foods in a varied and effective plan that has now helped me and thousands of others permanently whitening their teeth. There's no risk here. It's as simple as the addition of a couple of foods a day as described in the guide. So long as you ensure you get the correct amounts of each food and the correct combination, you're guaranteed amazing results. We're not talking about completely altering your diet, nor starving yourself. Just simple swapping or adding certain natural, safe, and inexpensive foods available from your local grocery store. And the beauty is, once you have followed this exact plan for 7 days, you will be noticing breathtaking results already. Continue to run the plan for a further 7 days on average, and your teeth will be as white as they can get without looking like some overhyped dental mannequin that harsh chemicals will cause. Here is a photo of me just 9 days after using the system. Looking back at my photo from just over a year ago, I'm sure you'll agree the change is almost unbelievable. I was flabbergasted but thrilled. And less than 4 months later, my life went from great to fantastic. I finally met my partner, Eileen. The way she looked at me, it was in a way no other woman ever had. She saw a sexy, confident guy. And I felt that way too. People suddenly seemed more interested in what I had to say, and would smile back when I smiled at them. Every day I became less embarrassed by my smile. I felt more alive and had a confidence I never thought I'd have. And if I ever noticed my teeth getting stained again, I would simply start the plan again for as long as was needed. It was as simple as that. With Dr. Hartman's permission, I decided to print out a few copies of our new guide and hand it to my closest friends. I even dropped it off at my local dentist's office, the same dentist who did my disastrous whitening procedure all those months ago. I went in for a routine checkup 6 months later, and for the first day in my life, I was looking forward to it. My teeth were healthy and dazzling white. I was pleased to show my dentist what I had managed to achieve naturally. But the second I had sat in the dentist's chair, before I knew it, suddenly the gas mask was on my face and the dentist had brought out a pair of pliers. I lay there helpless, shaking in fear. It is something that to this day shocks me to think about. My now wife heard my last scream before I dropped under from the anesthetic and rushed in just in time to push the dentist off before he did permanent damage. After the fiasco, and we had got over the initial shock, we asked why he had done such a horrendous thing. It turned out the dentist's profits had plunged ever since I dropped my leaflets off in his waiting room table 6 months prior. He was broke, and he held me entirely responsible. Dr. Hartman's natural teeth whitening guide had stolen almost every single one of his teeth whitening clients. He could no longer afford his lavish lifestyle from his overpriced and unnecessary dangerous procedures. Safe to say, he lost his license. But it only proved to me the money-hungry attitude of this entire industry and just how effective and powerful Dr. Hartman's system was. That day, we made the decision to put the Teeth Whitening Miracle System online and make it available to as many people as possible, not just our close acquaintances. That's you. That's your friends and family. Anyone who wants to naturally, safely whiten their teeth to a sparkling extent, using ingredients that cost less than $10 to put together. A system scientifically proven to whiten teeth that is 100% safe and actually strengthens your teeth and gums as well. After much deliberation, Dr. Hartman agreed for me to publish his works, and with the help of my nephew Jonathan, that is exactly what I have for you today. Right this second. Now you can get your hands on the Teeth Whitening Miracle yourself. Now you can finally stop feeling embarrassed by your smile. Once you have whiter teeth, you're never going to want to stop smiling. You can finally eliminate all those nasty coffee, tea, and wine stains on your teeth, naturally, without endangering your health, and without even changing your diet or habits a single bit. You can finally achieve gorgeous white teeth for just pennies a day, using natural ingredients found at your local grocery store. And most importantly, you'll dramatically improve your personal and work relationships. You'll be amazed at the way people respond to someone with attractive white teeth, as opposed to someone with ugly, discolored teeth. It's just a fact of life. The better you look, the more notice you'll get, whether it's at a bar or on the job. If your teeth are as bad as mine were, you see this happen all the time. Someone might be connecting with you, and then you'll make the mistake of smiling at them. After that, they'll make their excuses and find someone else. It sucks, but it's life. And all you need to do is make some simple changes and follow Dr. Hartman's system, so this humiliation never happens to you again. Imagine how different things would be if you didn't have to be embarrassed every time you smiled. Think of all the encounters you've had that have gone south after someone got a good look at your teeth. What would happen if they weren't repulsed by your teeth, but captivated by your sunny smile instead? What could you do professionally and personally? Trust me when I say it can change your life. And the truth is, you don't need to trust just me. Let's hear from Melvin R. Bird from Houston, Texas, a recent user of the Natural Teeth Whitening Miracle System, who said, "I'm in the oil business down here, and as you can imagine, I've seen some hideous smiles, including my own. When my wife finally got me to try your system, I noticed right away a huge difference in how my colleagues talked to me. Suddenly, I was being invited to meetings with investors, and with knowledge combined with my new look, we've closed a couple of huge deals. I can't be sure, of course, but I credit your system with helping to make this happen. You've got a lifelong satisfied customer right here. Thank you. With results like this, and thousands upon thousands of people thanking Dr. Harmon and I for this system, you can probably understand why we would consider charging $300 for this guide. After all, Dr. Harmon has been languishing with very few job prospects. He confided in me after we got to know each other that he was in danger of losing his home thanks to what the dental industry had done to him. And let's face it, $300 is nothing compared to what you'd spend on even one dentist teeth whitening procedure, or what you're likely to spend year after year trying to find a home whitening kit that actually works. And to tell you the truth, I've been offered over $5,000 for this program not that long ago. Ironically, it was Dr. Harmon who told me, no way are we charging $5,000, not even $300 for this. Now that this is out there, he wants as many people as possible to be able to take advantage of his proven system. And that's why we're not going to ask for $199, not even $99. Nope. For the entire Teeth Whitening Miracle Guide, we are asking a simple one-time fee of just $39. And all you need to do to lock in this special pricing is press the Add to Cart button below. Personally, I think Dr. Harmon is nuts for charging so little for a system that can, has, and will change so many lives for the better. But he convinced me to do this at first, just so anyone and everyone with turn-off yellow teeth will have the opportunity to change if they really want. Pretty soon, though, we're going to be absolutely swamped with orders, and we'll have to raise the price just to keep things at a level we can deal with. It's going to happen. But if you're watching this, it hasn't happened yet, which means you have the opportunity to lock in this insane bargain for such a powerful system. Simply press the Add to Cart button to get full access to the entire, simple, easy-to-follow, 100% natural and safe, proven and effective system to whitening your teeth by orders of magnitude. Once you make this important step and press the Add to Cart button, you'll be directed to our secure checkout page. There, you'll enter your details, and then you will be instantly taken to our exclusive members area. From there, you'll immediately be able to access the Whitening Miracle Guide, detailing the exact breakthrough system that has brought over 89,500 people dramatically whiter teeth in as little as 2 weeks. All available on a computer, mobile, or tablet device 24 hours a day. That's right, in just a couple of minutes, you could be reading the guide that has set me and so many like me free with teeth to be proud of. And that's not all. In my exhaustive research to find a system that would work to whiten my teeth, I've found a couple other breakthroughs along the way. And as a thank you for showing us your commitment to this teeth whitening system, watching this video, and listening up to this point, if you order in the next 2 hours, I'm going to give you 2 bonuses, absolutely free, to show you our gratitude. The first bonus I'm excited to give you is the Toothache Remedy Guide. This groundbreaking guide details a first-of-its-kind, a 12-hour toothache remedy cure that's proven to work. If you've ever experienced the agony of toothache, or know someone who has, this guide is the one and only solution that you will ever need to combat it, effectively from home in the space of hours. It details a scientifically proven method for targeting the root cause of toothache and eliminating the pain for good. Be prepared when toothache hits, and you will not have to suffer ever again. The full-length Toothache Remedy Guide, worth $49.99, but yours entirely free when you add to cart below. In the second bonus, named Anti-Aging Secrets, you'll be able to take your confidence to a whole new level with a detailed step-by-step guide on looking younger and turning back the clock on your skin, with results seen in as little as 3 weeks. This detailed anti-aging system is easy to do and works for both men and women alike. Included in this guide is everything you need to know about reversing the effects of time, such as what exactly to eat, what not to eat, and even about antioxidants and fatty acids. The complete information-packed Anti-Aging Secrets Guide, worth $59.99, but add to cart below, and it's yours absolutely free. So all you need to do now to get access to the Teeth Whitening Miracle, plus these 2 incredibly useful bonuses, just tap that Add to Cart button below right this second to ensure you don't miss out. Now, I understand you may not be totally sold on this system and whether it will really work for you. If you're anything like me, you've hit enough dead ends by now to be skeptical of anything and everything. So here's what I'm going to do. We are so confident, so unbelievably confident in the effectiveness of this program and just how much you are going to love the teeth whitening results it brings. We are backing your order fully with our ironclad 60-day money-back guarantee. This guarantees your satisfaction 100%. If you are not entirely, and I mean 100% satisfied, I want you to email us and let us know, and we will refund every single penny you've paid. Absolutely no questions asked. It's as simple as that. But when you experience firsthand the effectiveness of this program, you won't even be thinking about emailing us to refund. You'll be emailing us to thank us for letting you in, to thank us for your amazing results, just like Keon and Melvin and Robert and the literally thousands of others who have contacted us over the past few months to let us know just how drastically this one system, created by a talented doctor in the middle of West Virginia, has changed their lives. We've done all we can to make this guide as easy to follow as possible. We're including 2 special bonuses you won't find anywhere else. And we're even giving you 60 days to try it with the promise of a 100% full refund if for any reason it doesn't satisfy you. We're even dropping the price far below its value and charging just $39 for the entire thing if you jump on this now. So if you're ready to rid yourself of the dreaded yellow image staring at you in the mirror, all you've got to do is press Add to Cart below. I mean, what's the alternative? Say you move on from this page, go on with your life, and live with a set of off-putting teeth holding you back from truly living. What will you do? I can see 2 choices. Either you simply learn to live with the fact that you've got an ugly smile, which is what I almost did. You throw money you likely don't have at half-assed home whitening products that could cause loads more problems than they solve, even if they work at all. You could go to your trusty dentist and hand over a wad of dough and try your luck at a procedure with a 20% success rate at best. Or you invest just $39 in a proven teeth whitening system that's guaranteed to do the job for the first time, and to give you the results you've wanted for years in just 2 weeks. What I would give to have had this opportunity years ago, to have skipped the incredibly painful lesson of dentist teeth whitening that doesn't work, and especially the close encounter with a pair of pliers that I hope no one ever has to go through. Well, I don't have that opportunity, but you do, and all it takes is the press of a button. So, for the sake of your life, your family, your job prospects, and your overall happiness with who you are and who you want to be, press that Add to Cart button right now. I guarantee you, your world will change in ways you wouldn't believe. Still not sure? Believe me, I know how tough it is to say yes, even to something you know is going to help you on so many levels. But if I hadn't said yes to Dr. Hartman, I know that at this very moment, I'd be puttering around in my house, alone, and with no prospects for the future. But fortunately for me, that one time I decided to put aside my skepticism and go with it, and I have an amazing life partner for that very reason. What could you accomplish in your professional, personal, your family life if your teeth brought people to you, rather than pushing them away? If you take no action, you'll likely never find out. But if you put aside your pessimism and give this a try, I'm positive the possibilities will open up in front of you, and your life will never be the same. So tap that Add to Cart button right now, and I can't wait to hear your success story.